Hello everyone, it's DBJ. Back to fighting the alignment. This time it's chaotic neutral. There aren't, as far as I'm aware, very many chaotic neutral creatures. And often chaotic neutral is associated with insanity. I would have to say that those that are insane could very well be chaotic neutral, but that is not what chaotic neutral is. All right? Fighting chaotic neutral involves understanding what chaotic neutral is, and a simple explanation would be the chaotic portion of that is following the goals, emotions, feelings, and desires without regards to any rules, right? Without regards to tradition or obeying any particular kind of social status or social contract that's engaged. The neutral portion of that is that while engaging in this, although they may create destructive or harsh consequences, that's not their goal. I think that the easiest way for me to think of chaotic neutral, unfortunately, without casting any disparagements against people who are this way, are drug addicts and people addicted to alcohol. They are the party goers. They are they're the person in the movie where everyone knows that they shouldn't go into the house, they shouldn't go into the dark wood, they shouldn't ring the doorbell, they shouldn't make the phone call and piss off the neighbor. But you know what? What the hell? One more time. Let's have one more drink. Let's climb up that mountain just one more step. They're that person that always pushes the edge. Let's throw a window at old Miss So-and-so's house. They're the person that always pushes the boundaries. And chaotic neutral doesn't necessarily mean that they are opposed to everything that the player characters are doing. Plenty of chaotic neutral people make great friends, at least initially, because they're the party goers. They're like, hey, let's all hang out and do coke. Hey, let's go get a hooker. And, uh-oh, she died. We better do something about this. I know what we can do. We can hide the body and then chop it up and pretend it never happened. That's chaotic neutral. They don't plan on doing bad things and having bad things happen to people. They don't plan on these things happening, but they will. They won't necessarily pick your pocket, but if you drop your wallet on the floor, they're like, oh, sweet. Snatch the thing up, snatch the cash out of it, put it in your pocket, maybe tell a friend, oh, you dropped your wallet. Go spend some cash and have a good frolicking time. Chaotic neutral likes to follow its emotions. I guess the superhero, if I had to find somebody in fiction that's very closely related to chaotic neutral, would be the Hulk. The Hulk tends to follow between, or classic Hulk tends to follow between chaotic good and chaotic neutral. And I say chaotic neutral because there are plenty of times when the Hulk's mindlessness, although not intending to do evil, is very destructive and has a plan or motive, but is unable to express that to people and gets frustrated when those who don't understand what they're thinking and lashes out. And that's where the insanity part comes from when people play chaotic neutral. Now remember, chaotic neutral doesn't mean that you don't have an idea of what you're thinking. It's not complete randomness. What it is instead is, it is a method of thinking that goes counter to culture and law and reasonable modes of thought. So a serial killer could very well if you watch any of the CSI shows or Criminal Minds or any of the police procedural shows, serial killers in very many ways have a regimented way of thinking. It just does not fall in line with normal societal means. So, finding hookers on the side of the street or going after blondes or shooting people in the head while you're walking randomly, it makes sense to the person that's chaotic neutral. It does not make sense to the general public. So then you're thinking, well, how do you fight them? Well, the easiest way to do it is to find out what it is that they want. All right, so in the comic books, the Hulk rages out and everyone wants to stop the Hulk. But it takes a smarter person to find out, well, why is the Hulk pissed off? Like, if we stop attacking him, maybe we can find out why he's all mad. And leave Hulk alone, Hulk mad, where's Betty? That kind of thing. And then somebody along the line goes, oh, he wants his girlfriend. That's right. Well, let's go find the girlfriend and bring her around, and maybe the Hulk will calm down. That's how you fight chaotic neutral. Also, you can get on chaotic neutral's side. You can go along with the party. I'm sure chaotic neutral sounds like pixies and dryads and forest creatures that are just like, hey, let's just, satyrs and centaurs, and hey, let's have some fun. Let's play some games. The Jackass movies and the guys that playing Jackass, where you're just playing these, more elaborate tricks on each other. That's chaotic neutral. And unfortunately, chaotic neutral can really devolve down into just mindless rage when you don't understand what their methods are. And oftentimes, chaotic neutral will think itself harmless and not understand the ramifications of what they're doing. So there may be enemies that are embarrassing, painting pictures that are embarrassing of the king. And now the king is sending out these secret police squads that are going to people's houses and busting down their doors and creating a military state. Well, the chaotic neutral person is just trying to make a political point. Like, oh, all I'm doing is just, I'm just making fun of the king. I don't understand why he's taking it so seriously. But the population is suffering because anytime anyone makes any comment against the king, he's taking it personally and beating people in the streets. So stopping chaotic neutral requires finding out everything that you can about the methods, about the methods and the thought processes behind why they are so chaotic, which can be difficult if you're caught up in it, and going along with their antics, making jokes, partying maybe, hunting down, living trees or something, Don Quixote and all that kind of stuff where it's just counter to the culture. But ultimately, fighting chaotic neutral can easily devolve into wild rage and a bestial nature, and making sure that they are not on their home turf when they do so. So anyway, that's just my little take on fighting chaotic neutral. I cannot think offhand off of many creatures, but there are many people who can become chaotic neutral, especially political dissidents, people who are against the static quo and want to fight and maybe aren't smart enough to think very far into the future. They just know they don't like the way things are and seek to change it. So anyway, it's DBJ. As always, be creative, don't be destructive, come up with new and unique ways of using alignment. If you want to use it, you don't have to. Right now I'm just generalizing, and using that, you can use that generalization of being wild and going by your nature as opponents in your game, and how player characters can fight them and interact with them. So anyway, DBJ, and I am out. Thank you very much.